So what are we going to cover? Our topics that we'll cover over the course of the weeks in these live interactive sessions will start with the basis. We'll start with definitions. You need to understand some of those key things. And then we'll jump right into Nexus. We'll go through physical nexus as well as all of the changes with Wayfair and the economic nexus. We'll then talk about how to do your sales tax registrations based on where you determine you need to be registered. Then we'll talk about exemptions, exemption certificates, and drop shipments, get into tax base, understanding how you need to figure out what components of your invoice you need to charge tax on, like shipping or installation. We'll give you tips and show you how to go find answers to questions that you might need to research. And we'll also then really get into compliance. So you need to calculate the tax, but you also need to remit it. So we'll talk about how to figure out what returns you need to file, how you need to file those, and even talk about things like use tax, which is still going to be relevant to some companies. Now, in order to do that compliance, you actually need to understand tax automation. So we'll go through and talk about options for how you select what is the right tax automation solution for you, and what are some of the pros and cons of the different solutions that are out there, and what considerations do you need to have. And then, because unfortunately some of you may actually have to undergo an audit, we'll talk about how to be prepared for an audit, what you need to know to make sure that you can respond to the audits timely, what not to do with an auditor. And there are some of those things that you need to think about. So we'll go through that. All of those will be live interactive sessions. One of the weeks is going to be a self-paced week, and that week is going to be focused on industries. So we're going to talk about 10 different industries. There will be 10 different recordings that you'll be able to pick and choose which ones you want to listen to. They'll be 20 to 30 minutes apiece, giving you a high-level overview of the tax rules in those different industries. And then we're going to wrap up the whole class at the end with talking through a sales tax work process flow and what you need to think about on an ongoing basis in order to stay in compliance.